because from our mini pre-show, talked about the pressure, talked about how they use it, who's going to use it much more effectively. Knight to kick things off, rattles off the post here. The first marking of an attempt will be in the side of blue.
Sad and Shad, of course. You're not to get too confused between those two names, although I'm sure that there will be some stumbles at some point as Knight steps in to throw this to the midfield line. Here is Shad, the Argentinian with so much experience, of course, part of that X-Complexity, or X-True Neutral, most recently Complexity roster. And but that's a real complex play, almost finished off by Knight, but for drops on the backboard. Someone who really popped off in the last series against the club, and now able to bring that ball into the blue half. Some big plays from the big player at the moment.
So there's a cross here, but we're briefly talking about Jam and your usual partner in crime, James, who stole for a brief series or two. Jaffinho, how brilliant that he can sort of ooze in the series here. He did not do it in the semi-final. You talk about big plays, you talk about big moments. This tiebreaker suits this man right now, and that's a save there worthy of the title, perhaps.
KV1, such a dangerous player, gets a demo on the way out as well. Sad, that's popping up nicely for KV1, snuffed by drops. Here's Knight. Again, a little bit too slow. That's heading straight towards net. Sad in place to make the save underneath Shad. Very inventive, very nice, but not good enough to get past Jaffinho. Sells Knight for a short one, but KV1 steps in to save the day.
Nice to see the cut through here. Drops, tempting, searching, prowling for a demo. Not happening yet here. Shad will the backboard you fancy. Yes here, but where's the pressure? Where's the second man to follow through? That's where we need to see the key eye, where this tiebreaker will be settled, of course.
Knight has to give it up. Not able to find that second touch from Shad. KV1 calm, cool and collected on that backboard. Fakes out drops. Jaffinho, nice slice. Backboard, looking for Shad, and that's going to go wide.
Could have been so much more. Could have been such more dangerous and relic what has been almost resemblance of the first and second semi-finals, which was the slight worrying of how the game was being presented. Here is the first goal, and I must say I'm not impressed.
It's just great placement from Sad. It's not great placement from the goalkeeper, and it's all great for Team Secret as they ride out with the first go-ahead goal of the series. And now we are really asking questions of that crew mentality. Are they able to steal up once again? Are we able to see the crew that we saw in games 2 and 3? Well, maybe Shad trying to do something. Remember, he has not scored in an entire series now. That streak continues for yet another 3 minutes.
Such a big problem, and that's off to the back wall. Drops this time, able to respond, pushes it further to the midline, and what Team Secret is able to do is calculate that goal and keep on pressuring. That was the biggest question we had going into it, and Chad tips it away here, following for maybe and just hopefully that counter-attacking opportunity.
It called nicely for a Crew Esports member to step in there, but no one with the confidence, no one with the boost. Here is Sad once again, the difference maker between the two sides. 90 seconds left. Knight to pick up the 100. Shad for the big clearance, but KV1 in the way. That's towards net. Saved by Knight. It's one that he had to make. It's one that he's expected to make. Round the corner. There's Sad again. Drops, counts him out. Jaffinho lying, lurking and waiting, but not able to make anything happen on this occasion. 1 minute 10 left. Time running out for Crew in game 1.
Drops will be beaten, and Jaffinho and Shad's got to make a decision. Shad will take over the leadership of the defensive rotation. Jaffinho and Drops double commit. Big worrying signs here. You talk about 90 seconds. Well, they've got 30 wasted now for the next 60 to find that searching, equalising goal.
It is certainly a bit of deja vu for Crew. Not necessarily against Team Secret, but against the club. Remembering game number 1 of that series. It was a 1-0 scoreline right until the very end. The defense too strong And KB1 currently at the center of that defense doing incredible things. A demo on Sad though, bit of a power play from Crew Esports. Drops, Shad looking for a bump on Knight. Knight too fast for him. Jufinho spikes it up high. Little boost to work with, tries to fake out Sad. He's not having any of it. Now Shad, they keep on rotating round this ring around the rosies at the moment, but there's no flower bed for the ball to nestle into for Crew. They have had their chances, they have had their moments, but much like the early parts of that club series, they have not had the creativity. It's Secret potentially with the first game. Gotta throw it to the ground now. It does eventually hit the floor. Team Secret with the first blood in this tiebreaker series.
I love how there's always that potential possibility, Relic, for that to occur. But you talk about the flower beds. It's only one pot that's been planted for Secret to grow and hopefully to something beautiful. Crew, on the other hand, I think they've got a few pebbles in that bed. Hopefully they'll get that out for the second game here.
Yeah, difficult to see where they're going to start to find the shovel or the tools to extract those stones, however, because it does feel like they're just a bit heavy in all parts of their play. Again, in the offensive third, not creative enough. When it came to putting up a tough defense of their own, eventually it cracked. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but the club has already exploited this weaknesses time and time again. It's why they went on to win that grand final series. Team Secret, they had front row seats to the occasion. They were most likely watching the stream, analyzing where they can hurt Crew most. Well, again, Crew, they lose by 1 goal, but that is more than enough to lose you a game.
It's such a huge, big problem as well, where those are the, what can we say, 1% of a mistake where that is lost. And you know what? I'm not saying, but what needs to occur here, Relic, is that ability of leadership. We saw Jufinho and Shad for a temporary moment, somewhat looking for who's going to take control of it. That needs to happen faster. The decisions need to happen quicker. And I'm hating to say this here, but Relic, Sam, meant to be known as the fast, aggressive region. Yeah. Where is it?
Where is it indeed? Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because I was talking on the MENA broadcast yesterday about how no matter where they go, Veloce seemed to be the steady Eddie of the region. Well, before they were Veloce, they were Team Secret, and Team Secret wasn't steady Eddie at all. It was actually a team that conceded goals left, right, and center. They were struggling consistently, and it's only through mundanism and just doing the basics right that they were able to grind out results. Now, we've seen Secret being able to evolve to this stage of gameplay, but Crew, you've got Shad on your team, but he's misfiring, and although it's easy to say, well, surely you focus your attentions elsewhere, no, I think for me personally, you've got to embolden Shad. He is still without a goal in, what is it now, 6 consecutive games. Drops, on the other hand, he has scored a couple. That was the first opportunity. It went the way of Crew, but there were enough players in the way. Team Secret keep that scoreline 0-0. Oh, no, they don't. They don't. It's 1-0. Never mind me.
Do you need a second, Relic?
I think Crew need a second. they need a timeout here because Team Secret have strolled up the other side of the pitch and made them look silly.
They effectively went down and stolen their trousers. That's how foolish that play really did look like. Hopefully they can regain themselves and go out with a bit more thunder. But right now, this is how the story, this evolution that you described as potentially, for Crew's sake of it, I must say, all that effort wasted.
Still plenty of time to go. Still plenty of time to go. We thought that Crew might be dead and buried by the halfway stage of that club series, and yet from somewhere, somehow, they were able to drag some new ideas out of the hat, and they deployed them quite nicely. And whilst it remains 1-0, Crew will remain in shot of stealing away this particular 5-minute period. Of course, if Team Secret find a second, then you're starting to ask a little more questions. Jufinho, a lovely dribble through the middle, drops now on target, but there is Sad with the save, and once again, these shots, they're decent, they're okay, but you need a demo sometimes, and hallelujah, Shad has finally broke his duck.
Praise be Shad! We talk about Jufinho being the star player, credit for the demo. But you talked about questions sometimes they're meant to be left unanswered. That one, the call was ringing, finally been picked up too. 2 minutes gone by, and downfield with Javrinho, Shad looking, hunting for a demo. Game back on, certainly.
Ring ring. Team Secret. Now, how's this conversation going to play out? Another win in the midfield. And again, just one moment of magic, and all of a sudden, Shad seems re-energized, revitalized. They don't want to sell themselves too short, of course, crew. But this is the sort of shot in the arm that might very well revitalize not just Shad, but the entire squad to boot. That's given up tonight. Drafinho going to get a piece of this. Over to the side it goes, into the corner. KV1 not going to beat the caboose of drops here, but taken out by KV1. Drafinho, it's a double commit here from Sad and KV1. Shad left back in town. He's not going to be allowed to clear it as well as he would have wanted, however. Now Knight, and his drops off the top of the box. Falls nice for KV1. A great save from Drafinho. Team Secret, this grasp, this clutch on the orange defense. It continues to tighten.
Oh, you're just wanting to see an escape if you're a crew fan, though. You just want to get freedom, break away from that grasp, that iron claw, almost like the curtain has been revealed, and that one needs to be sent with a size 9 boot or plus downfield. But Team Secret, credit where it's due, they are not letting this one go.
Halloween's come and gone, but that shot's a little too scary for the crew defense. Get away with it, but it's a big charge there, and Sad once again at the center of all things good for this Team Secret defense. Drop's just trying to buy a little bit of time now for his team to be able to move through, round back into a good place in rotation. Drops, that's too easy. KV1 reads it like a book. Drafinho over to the far side of the pitch. This is lovely recycling from Crew Esports as Shad going infield evades one, but it's a little too far wide. 1 minute left. Our crew trying to take it to overtime.
KV1 over tonight here. That was a nice idea for the drop here, Shad. He's been bumped and the defence is scattering at times here. They were lumped together, and that's an alarm bell. And I'll tell you right now, really, if Cycle was in here, that sort of former bubble player, the CRL world champion contender and coach as well, he would be screaming at Team Crew right now. Get it away! That's foolish. You need to find each other. And you know what? They have got away with it. They've got to the other side of the pitch here. Now can they capitalise on an opportunity?
Team Secret, though, they've been able to set up the stalls. They've got themselves back in position. And the Knight, look at that, a little bit too far back. Quick counter-attack here for Drafinho. That was going high anyway. KV1 with the save, but that's a demo. He's going to stay on that backboard. KV1 over to the other side. It falls. Here's Sad now. Shad chasing him down. It navigates its way past one. Drafinho forced to go into his far corner. And look at KV1 on his bike yet again, waiting for this attempted clearance. The pinch will move out towards Sad. Shad to try and intercept. He's not going to get a touch, though. Sad all on his own. That's a lovely read off the backboard, and it is overtime. Who it favours, I'm not entirely sure.
Well, thankfully the OT will reset the clock here. Everything before that you had to say Team Secret, but might as well point this out. See, there is a breather somewhat here. Drafinho, slow, walking the ball into the corner and not delaying the game so well here. That's worrying signs, really. That's a side that doesn't believe.
And that's a double commit as well. That's not just a sign that a team doesn't believe. It's a sign that the team isn't communicating either. Still dangerous here for Crew Esports. That's not gone far. Demo KV1, and they bruise him out the way, but drops once again, putting on the cape. The superhero for Crew.
And look at the other end, Knight. The scramble into the quarry will pick up the 100 boot. He will be met here, and Defeated, who's got options. It's dropped to the opposite side, and he's just scattered the ball over to KV1 in Secret, licking their lips now.
Backboard, where's the read? There's Sad, drops again, intervenes. He has got a lot to say in this debate, but might it be brought to a premature close? No, Shad through the corner, there's Sad, and Drafinho bumped out the way, does enough, savior medal for him, picks up the 100 on the way out. Nice recycle from Sad, immediately tonight, drops from Drafinho, and nobody willing to go for it just yet. Drops finally from his own challenge, turns back around with 0 boost. Has he got any teammates in support? No, all conservatism from Secret and Crew.
From all aggression to afraid to attack, This is meant to be the Sam region after all here. That was a rarity. Take it and breathe it and capture it for a lifetime. It won't happen. It's a rarity. It's night now. Blocked by Shad. It's such a crucial moment. We talked about his lack of goal scoring capabilities, but credit defensively here, Relic. He has done his job. Stellar! And that is an absolute diabolical blunder.
It was re-entry into the atmosphere and the cape burned off. Open net for Drops and he misses it. Are they going to be wanting that one back? Well, the answer is yes, obviously, but are they going to be suffering for it? Knight, bumped out of the way, lovely bump by Trevino, almost like a Goomba stomp on the wall, takes out Drop, so does Knight. It's a demo, it's set up beautifully for KV1 and Crew are left in tears.
Crew has nobody else other than those three individual players on the pitch. Shad drops in Trevino. At this moment here, if I was their coach, be some certain words being used, and I'd be a very disappointed coach.
You know, we briefly went back to the bracket there, and I feel like that's almost like the flashbacks going through the minds of Crew, not from the first half of their series against the club, but the second half, when the chances to put their opponents away were there. They didn't take them, and look, I'll give a bit of sympathy to Drops. He has been monumental against the club. He's been the standout player for me in this series as well. But as much as we can say, look, you did great up until that point did stop. And it stopped brutally this Crew squad in their tracks. To see an open net like that, a chance to go to Rotterdam, a major spot, and I run out of words, Danny. My heart bleeds, but it bleeds with a little tinge of disappointment.
Well, that's good for you. I have no heart, and it's filled.
Oh!
If it was there, with complete and utter disappointment. Shame, almost, what? This is the RLCS. This is the top pinnacle of our esports here, and you miss a wide open net. You took time, you took the composure, and you shot it left here. I'm not saying this was like for the snooker reference I dropped earlier here, this is not like a Steve Henry or it's a Davis moment where you hit the black and it just cushions off to the right here. You've got to put the ball in the net. Simple as that, and that was a potential winner. There is no room for excuses for Rotterdam.
And you know what? I cannot agree more. As much as I have sympathy, you do have to ask, if they miss that opportunity, then what are the harder ones going to look like for this squad? Well, we currently await their return. I do wonder whether a tactical timeout has indeed been called on this particular one, because Crew, it's threatening to get away from them again. Team Secret 2-0 up in the series. I think much like the club earlier on, they're not playing great, but they are playing to their opponents, and when those moments that matter do arrive, they're the ones who are taking them.
And that's what you have to do. I'm sorry, but if you're in this situation here, yes, there's an element of playing your opposition. There also has to be an element of playing your own game. But you've got to be able to execute. You've got to be able to deliver. What? And unfortunately, if you don't score opportunities, you'll never achieve anything.
I'm a lot more forgiving of Drops of that one. Would have been one of the goals of the day had it gone in. Positive start, and for your reference, folks, no tactical timeout taken. Just a little bit of extending the timer in between games, just to settle the nerves, perhaps. Team Secret, of course, looking for that third game win, looking for the match point scenario, looking for a potential sweep on Crew, and it could be arriving through a demo. Sad in field, looking for KV1, double commit, but it does the job into the midfield.
Nice demo here, and that's a waste by Drops here, throwing it up. Now you have to recycle force-fitly the challenge to get possession back. And Team Secret, they know that. They took advantage of that. And look at the space that once was Crew has been lost in that advancement.
Shad going towards that corner. You can see Drops I should say, looking to try and pick up the play, and although Shad does get the demo on Knight, unfortunately not much comes of it. A bit of a ricochet between Car and Car here. Sad. Oh, a nice demo on Drops as well. Opens up the lane for KV1, and there is Drafino at the right time. Massive save after a huge power play.
massive importance. But they unfortunately cannot celebrate it just yet here. It's Serfinio downfield here. Shad will be looking for a demo, and unfortunately it's a 3v1. You may have thought it was favouring Crew, but they were taken out, and Drops has done well just to stall the game. Let the two get the boost, get their position, and hopefully recalibrate an attack here.
Excellent interfering run from Shad once again. You can see here, two on that right, make that one on that right side. Drafinio removed from existence. KV1, little boost to work with, but a nice little touch over one. That's heading towards the net, but not on target, and dealt with nicely by Drops here. The save count mounting up for Crew as we approach the halfway point. You can definitely say that Team Secret, they are looking the most likely to score, Danny.
100%, and Relic, did we expect anything else other than the last two games here?
Oh, maybe not. Again, this is where we saw Crew stepping up against the club, so I'm not going to count them out.
I'm just being a slight tease, a devil on the shoulder there, Relic.
Oh, well, you know what? That devil might wear Prada soon. It's Drops, and unfortunately, that is not going to drop underneath the crossbar. That was what was necessary. Shad trying to go for Sad, evades the demo, and here he is now to deny Drufinho a shot on target. Of course, the shot is registered, the save is registered, but there was nothing in it, believe you me. 2 minutes left, and Shad leaves it up to Drops once again. All of these backboard hits, though. Team Secret, they can do this in their sleep.
Both sides should be able to do it, but Secret has done it better. But credit to that original set of play. Derfinio get the small touch, brings it into safety here, but that's a loose one. Very much loose, and Sad knows it, Drops knows it. Covers the original mistake the Crew presented into the side, and Shad, that's a risky play, especially in the series.
It's not good night, but it is good night. What a Goomba stomp. Completely catches out Drops. KV1 on the same wavelength. Pokes it up high. Team Secret with exactly 90 seconds left to run. It's another slender lead. Crew Esports, they've scored one goal before, but they need to go further.
It's a good save, and Drops moving across here. And you talk about maybe moving forward. They have to do it if they want to keep the series alive, to prolong it further. As Safrinio, glad to see his teammate covering in the lines of it here. And how much did that semi-final, the final itself, lost affected Crew here? Because how much they have came into the series, how well they have played, but they have not played well enough here, as they'll concede the second one here. Match point flashing for Team Secret here.
55 seconds. It's not looking good, is it? A full and well-embodied overcommit from Crew Esports. Desperation, or perhaps necessity. A fine line between the two blurred as Team Secrets, well, the victory horns are potentially blaring. KV1 won't care a jot. He wants to get a third. He wants to make sure that this match point is locked down. Of course, on this occasion, nothing comes of it, but Crew Esports, they are penned in their own half. Whenever they do stray forward, Danny, it's either with no intent or too much intent.
And that's unfortunately, the Goldilocks spit they have to find here as that ball gets moved across here. And what will be telling here, and Relic, this is effectively what you want to call a no money match, no seasonal points on here. They've done all the hard work to get into this possible position. Team Secret has played the 3 games to perfection. And you're talking about playing their opposition Crew. What's left? What is left for the next possible 4 games?
They are going to nick a goal there, but even in getting that goal, just look at how scuffed this shot from Drufinho is. That should be on target. It's going so wide, and Drops on the way out. Saves his mate from pure embarrassment. It really saves the score from pure embarrassment. Once again, a close affair when you look from the outside in. But when you're here, when you're watching it live, you can see just how dominant Secret have been, may potentially be. They are 1 game away from a major appearance.
And that's just incredible to have that as a potential possibility, and Secret has it in their own hands to do it. And I'm not saying here But Relic, you've got to look at this best of 7 as its own individual one. KV1 has stepped up, Knight has stepped up, Sad has stepped up, and you know what? What a time to show the series of a lifetime.
Look, the old saying goes, doesn't it? You win games with goals, but you win championships on defense. And defense for me has been Team Secret's secret weapon, effectively, going into this one. I can note all 3 players with fantastic blocks. And okay, you can criticize the opposition offense for maybe not being creative enough, or maybe not being adaptable enough, not many demos, but the shots that they are being dealt with here, they are dealing with them, and you cannot hold Secret against that. As boring as their own offensive game might be, they are punishing mistakes from crew at both ends of the pitch.
Just like that, defense wins championships, and certainly also helps getting into majors as well. Might be a required adapting to the playstyle for the entirety of the region. Might be a tad foolish for suggesting it, as this is potentially the last game the crew will have to do. Unfortunately, wait and watch it from their rooms, work, whatever. Ooh. Or they could be on the plane themselves. It has to start now, and this is looking a lot more promising.
Reverse sweep or wait until winter. Those are your 2 options, Crew Esports. What are you going to choose? What are you available and ready to choose? Well, so far Team Secret have not had many looks at net in game number 1 here. It has been majority crew, and they're going to be proud of that, but they need a goal to show for their efforts. The clearance from Knight. He heads to the sky, the night sky of Utopia Coliseum, as Sad now throws himself into the corner, tries to spike it out. Crew ready for it, not ready for the interception, the pop-up from KV1. Drops, has to readjust us so nicely to get over Knight, and there's your escape route now. Picks up, oh, he doesn't pick up the 100 boost. Strafinho steals it away from him, and just like that, the charge has been silenced.
It's almost feel like stealing candy away from the baby there, but will there be toys out of the pram here? Potentially Shad's able to recover, drops to his opposite, Definio to the behind. He will prefer Definio to go for this, not the case in Drops. Well, he's given possession over here. It'll be vital if he keeps it on that side, mind you. The pressure favours both sides.
It is not the season of giving yet. We are still 1 month away from Christmas time, but Team Secret, their defense is opened, and oh, Knight! Oh, got away with that one. It's another quick shot in, and KV1 this time to the rescue. Once again, rotating back through, the ball pops up, and Sad over to the side. Drops, looking for Shad, but it's given away.
Oh, that should have been at least a pixel away, buried. But the chances on the other side here for Secret to remove Crew's hope, and Shad's able to at least get it away for now.
Prioritize his position over boost. He's on the chase, but he's got to rotate out now. No boost, and not a lot of hope here as Drops tries to stall, and he has done well. Bump on Sad, but here's the counter-attack. Sad tonight, looking for the drop. Shad, good read, read the fake well. KV1 now, oh, you can see immediately Drafinha going for that bump himself, and Drafinha looking to go through Sad. Drops, picking up the play towards net, and the denial by KV1 at the door.
You got to be wondering, if you're in those comms right now, the Crew, what on earth do we have to do to get this ball into that rectangle? Because right now, Relic, it has to be frustrating. The boil must be boiling right now, and frankly, Definio with potential chance. They have done it! Definio, who has been labelled, who has been highlighted, is one of those players to watch out. Well, he's just silent. Secret.
That is a moment. We saw a moment from Drops. We've seen a moment from Shad. But they have to survive the next 2 minutes. Dare I say it? They need a second. Knight denied by the goal scorer. Ricochets out to the midfield as KV1 steps onto the scene. There's Drops. Sad goes sideways. Second touch. No boost. KV1 forced back a little bit here, trying to reset the attack. A nice pop, but it goes to nobody in particular. You're not going to work your way through the Crew defense like that. It's 1v2. Knight to the side. Drafinho going straight for net. KV1 a touch away.
Oh, Just shows you that its Secret has been rattled by that goal. They're annoyed that they've allowed a sense of a chance here as KV1 will move that one down centrally, and Knight, that's a foul, was touched KV1. He fancies a go too, and do you know what here? Team Secret have been almost elevated after the Crew goal.
They've been rattled, but in a positive way. 1 minute left on the clock to make something of that enthusiasm. Is it all a little too late? Shad meets Sad. They say hello, they part ways. The ball back into the midfield, but KV1 taking out Drops. The defense a little light for Crew Esports. This dangerous. Oh, and Shad off his own crossbar. It was a little ramshackle, but it got the job done.
Oh, Sad drops it, and there's Stefanio. He pulls away from it. He knows the dangers of overextension, even by a 50. So late in the game, do you take the chance on going for the second or hold the one? If it was me, hold on. Stefanio seemed to agree. Soft touch in KV1 with a lot of space, maybe with one opportunity though.
Whoa, what a dead stop as well, and they're going for Shad. You can see Shad immediately into evasive maneuvers. Knight will not be allowed to activate that musty flick to do any more damage, and there is the counter-attack from Drops. The time has been fought. The ball will hit the floor. Crew Esports are alive for another 5 minutes.
How long do you live? Well, unfortunately, the life machine that Crew was on, it was fluttering the machine. Somebody was tempted to pull the plug out. They're gone. Not yet. Not yet indeed.
But where do you go from here? That was as close run a game as you could potentially get. And let us not beat around the bush here. That was a moment of brilliance which separated the two sides. Had they kept on going at each other with no brilliance for either side, who would have won? Well, I would certainly like to bat for Crew on this occasion, Danny. They looked a lot better in terms of their offensive rotations, and they looked a lot more solid, I think, in defense as well. But should we attribute that a little bit to Secret and how after that goal they just seemed to deflate?
Oh, that's a difficult question there. I don't think Secret really deflated as much as it looks like, even if we were going to argue that far. I think it has to be given full credit to the Crew for what they were able to. I said during the cast as well there, Relic, Team Secret looked better since the goal had went in. We could have easily seen that 1-1 at one stage too. So I think we might actually see, as daft as this sounds, the closest we'll get here, unless this series goes 3-3. If so, Team Secret has let this one slip away.
Well, it was at this stage, just 20 minutes or so ago, that Crew were taken out of the grand finals for, well, the right to go to Rotterdam in the first place. They've had a second chance. They've got a last chance saloon. They've all piled into the back, and they've told the driver where to go. Will they reach their destination, or are Team Secret going to send them on a detour to hell? Well, early doors. Shad immediately moving into the midfield. Drops. He's not going to find much luck here either. Shad trying to be cheeky with it. KV1 looking for the demo, but Rafinho with a lovely bit of just readjustment mid-air. Nice transition in general. Oh my goodness, goes for the top pocket. Almost finds the mark to Shad.
Nearly, but not in. The distinction between both is huge. Still here, Rafinho. Soft touch takes KV1 temporarily out of the game, and that was an excellent shot. Decently pushed away, of course, here in both sides. Now just sort of oozing a little bit more freedom, class within the game here. And do you know what? That worry and stress factor, that's gone.
KV1 again stopped on his warpath. Jafinho, that's not exactly the touch he was looking for either. Does well to read the run of KV1. Big save once again from the difference maker in the last game, but Team Secret continuing to wind up the corkscrew. When is that big moment? When is that attack going to release? Well, not for the moment, because Crew Esports have done incredibly well to clear their own lines.
Just sitting here ready to have that bottle ready for you, Relic. When that big moment does happen here, it will be celebrations either way, and that's a tight angled shot here. KV1's on reasonably well. Expectations here, of course, to get this one pushed down the lines here, and do you know what? what is somewhat surprising here, lots of space down the middle from either side, Relic. Nobody's closing it down. It's all down the...
Plenty of wing play, but no crosses that have been able to find a poacher. Backboard, triple commit, demo, and Drops didn't know how good he had it. Knight was stuck on the roof of the net. And now Crew Esports are fully rotated back, of course, one enforced, one not so much.
KB1, not fluffing his lines yet, but you just sense here they want to pull at the threads here. The wing play. Heard Relic talking about the crosses here. They might be very cross themselves here. They haven't been able to break through the Crew defense lines as easy as it is the first opening games in this series here. Good sets of blocks here coming through, but we might be seeing the few first cracks as well.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most patient of them all? That's the tale to tell here in game number 5 as Crew Esports continue to stay alive. KB1 in field, Knight right place, but Drops steps in front of him. Shad, that's going to go around the corner, going to be dealt with easily. Girafinho, slow, sees KB1, goes underneath him, goes for Shad, returns to the corner with the ball, and KB1 too strong for that.
Soft touch, a lot more deliberate, a lot more precise now. Do you know what? The Sting has certainly went back into it, a killer pass.
And it's Girafinho, the hero turned villain. That was straight tonight. It was straight to KB1. It was straight to goal number 1. Team Secret take the lead. Crew Esports are on the ropes.
What was precision, what was elegance has turned out to be an utter mistake, unfortunately a mudge, a murk onto the liver that you were talking to. And you know what? Is there maybe a magic 8-ball that you can talk to? Is there still a chance? Well, I've shaken it and it says maybe.
Oh, that's hit the crossbar, but where's the third? Nowhere to be found. Sad rotates back in and makes the clearance away. Drops looking for Shad. There's Knight. Shad wins the race. Sad misses the ball entirely. So does Drops as well. Knight on his bike, no boost. Lovely back pass from Drops when he had nothing to work with. Girafinho takes his time, loses out on the 100 boost. Bumped out the way. Knight looking for a double tap. Knight falls to Sad. Is Sad going to put them away? In the parlance of Sam, a goal!
In the true region of the style there by Relic. But it will be Sad's name who you'll be remembering from time and time alone. The history book inked, maybe the tickets too. 45 seconds to find 2 goals. If you're unfortunately the devil, you might just find that the ride ends here.
Don't worry, Espana, I've got you covered too. Golazzo, golazzo, golazo. But that is how many goals the Crew are going to need to win this game now. There's not many minutes left. There's not many seconds left. There's plenty of demos on hand, but the third play is the most important. Now respawned. KB1 feels that backflip, but Drops has no boost. Going to miss out on this one as Girafinho heads to the backball once again. It's Shad looking for his first goal of the game. No, denied by KB1.
And there's Girafinho, soft touch, and that might be symbolic. It was 2 goals, wasn't a team secret, but that by Crew was an effort, but too little, too late. We do have a winner. That answer, well, Relic, the honours is yours.
Team Secret. They have locked in their spot, and in pretty dominant fashion as well. Sure, dominant in the sense of midfield control rather than goals, but when the moments that mattered came along, they were the moments that were taken. Crew Esports, I think Bacon, honestly, with some real good meta analysis here of this Crew Esports squad, they're almost there, but they need a little more time in the oven. And there's certainly great moments that they can look back on, but there's plenty to certainly observe and analyze and head into the winter split having learned from for this young but certainly potential filled squad. Soph, we would love to welcome you back into the discussion. How did you find things here?
Okay, gentlemen, I was rooting for a reverse sweep. I have to say, I was rooting for the reverse sweep. And then, I was just crying in chat, I have to say. Uh, well, it's all right. Of course, we have to acknowledge the potential from both teams, as you mentioned. Relic, Bacon really hit the nail on the head. Crew is. It always feel like they need one step closer. They are always a little behind, and unfortunately, that was the occasion today. They didn't guarantee their spot for the major, but Team Secret did. So incredible job from the roster there. Danny, what did you think of this tiebreaker?
Well, the fact that the format allows this to happen, you're sort of going, oh, there's going to be a few arguments. And there was what's there, a best of 7 between these two teams. And you know what? It showed that both sides, after all the effort they put into it, they're still human. Like us, we tried to play our 3 session, we're going, do you know what? We can't live up to the expectations. Them two did. But Bacon's analysis was right. Everybody's analysis was right. I just got to apologise to Crew because I picked you and it seemed to be wrong once more.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad.
So really, it just looks like an unfortunate day for Danny's predictions. But that's all right. It happens. It happens, lad. It's part of the job. I think that, well, it's best to have a caster prediction, a bad caster prediction, than having a caster curse at a clutch moment in a match.
Yeah,
So
agreed.
I think you're good. You're safe. But yes. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody here, thank you so much. Muito obrigada. You too, of course. Danny Boy, Relic, Jar of Jam, Psycho as well. Source in the production. Thank you all so much for being a part of this. You guys in the audience as well. Danny Boy, do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Oh, I just want to thank everybody from E-General, the Rocket Street crew, the Rocket Sam crew for meeting up, having those conversations, allows us to expand, and to everybody who has followed here on the Rocket and the efforts that Boyan and Spleen done. Without everybody and Psionics, we would not have this broadcast.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. And how about you, Relic?
Yeah, I could not echo those thoughts anymore. These English streams would not happen without willing participants, willing to put time down to put these productions together for you guys. It is all community run, and we hope to build communities around these broadcasts. We know that you've enjoyed it in chat. We will endeavor to bring you plenty more in the future.
Oh yes, and it's so exciting, especially for me here, your fellow Brazilian caster, to be able to come into the scene to participate in a South America English broadcast here at the Rocket. So, finally, once again, thank you so much, and we expect to see you on the next time.